Welcome back, guys. Part 5 of our Let's Play is ready to go now. I haven't been playing in about a day and a half or so, but fairly certain I'll remember what I was doing. In some unrelated good news, or I think it's good news at least, I did get my YouTube account upgraded so I can record for longer than 15 minutes. As far as I know, there's not any sort of limit that I need to be worried about. The 15-minute videos were fine, but I figured this gives a better experience overall rather than having to cycle through videos. Of course, if you hate me, it's just my annoying voice crammed into one video for you, so in that case it's not good news. Anyway, our Let's Play here, I think we were in the Wine Cellar looking for, yes, our 4 chemicals to do whatever we're supposed to do with those. So, we'll get back to it. And my screen's already shaking. Staying in the dark for too long. I did check out some of, I'll say this in a second.
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
Alright, as I was saying before that little flashback, I did check out a few of the videos. The gamma seems to be okay, but I'm not sure if that's just because maybe I'm used to this. So again, if it's too dark or anything, just let me know, and in the future I will be able to fix that. And let's see what we got here. Cooperate, and that's not a good sound. Alright, let's open this door a little carefully. Because I remember either one or two of the monster encounters, I guess if you could call it that, the music changed a little bit, and I don't hear that with this. So it might be okay. Let me just make sure there's nothing else in this room. Also gonna make sure this was... Nope. I'm gonna make sure that was one of the chemicals we needed. I am 99% sure it was. It should be this, right? Cooperate. Okay. So that is one of the things we're looking for. Nothing else appears to be in this room. No. Done in here. I don't know if you guys can pick that up, but there are footsteps coming from up this way, I guess, which is really not a place footsteps should be coming from. Let's see what's behind. Go. Oh. Okay, that's the same sound I heard before, but again, I'm not sure if I want to go in. We'll try it. Okay, there's no way to get in. So judging by that sound, the game might just be doing me a favor. Enemy is near. Oh, damn it. This means, I guess we're probably going to have our first real enemy encounter in here. I have to say the game's done a good job so far of keeping the enemies from you. So basically they're building up this horrendous tense environment the entire time, and you're consistently expecting something to jump out at you, but they withhold that for, I guess it's been about an hour, and it really actually enhances the experience. Is this another chemical I need? One. Oh shit. That looks like our friend over there. Don't want to light the lantern, but yeah, it's not looking too good. Let me get a little bit closer to the light, maybe. This might work. Looks like he's hitting himself, scratching himself, something. Just don't want to get too close. Let's see. Okay, he's walking away. That's good. And that's not good. I guess maybe I stared at him for a little too long. Let's see if I can wiggle towards the light over here and get better. And once again, that more threatening music has stopped. So, let's see if I can regain control of Daniel here. Yeah, was this one of the chemicals? A jar of cooperate, a medical brace to improve health. Okay, so I guess if I take damage from a monster or whatever, this will be used for that. So, that is not one of the chemicals we needed. I think that's just a consumable in the same vein as oil or tinderboxes or something. This? It's just a rock, okay. And this is where I saw the monster go. I'd assume he's out that door. But again, there's no music, so I don't know if he's either patrolling down here or if he's just despawns from the area. I would like to think he despawns, but I can't be sure yet. Nothing else in there. So that room was just designed to scare you silly, basically. I'll leave this open in case I have to run back in. And this looks like the main area. Cellar again. Okay, so we haven't been here yet, and... I'm trying to ration that as best I can, but this area is pretty dark. The same with the laboratory, really. And especially now that I know there is, or at least was... Nice. Okay. I guess that's hopefully not a hallucination. Anyway. Okay, so that's 2 out of 4. What I was saying before, these cockroaches appeared all over me, is that if I know there at least is or was a monster down here, I'm going to try not to light too many torches. Because if I do have to go hauling ass through this place, I really don't want him to be able to see it. This is the first one. Okay, that's where we picked up the coop, right? Alright, you know what? I could probably light this torch. Leave this close, it'll be okay. What is this? Now contains a few drugs. Oh, cool. Wasn't too much of a refill, but I'll take anything I can. This looks like another one of our chemicals. Excellent. Oh, okay. And... Alright, I really didn't have any chance to get out of the way of that. So, I'm just gonna have to assume that barrel was supposed to smash me over the head. And it took out the torch too, didn't it? Alright, let's cover some sanity here. And it looks like we're caved in. Okay, so, oh wow, okay. I didn't exactly want to pull it down the top of my head, but it's better than nothing. So did this by any chance magically refill? No. Okay, so let's clear this stuff away. Because I'd imagine I can just use this door as normal. When the area in the archives caved in, they made a journal entry saying I couldn't get back out, so I think I'll be okay just clearing the door. I should have 3 out of 4, right? Yep. Okay, imagine the beams work the same way. Come on. Okay, so we just lay this guy down on the ground, I guess. And drag him out of there. Okay, that should do it for this room. Alright, nothing else. Okay, so I guess this is from the barrel falling on my head. It's understandable. Oh, wow. What? I don't think I have any other options. I think I've been to every other room down here. So, I guess we're gonna suck it up and see what's behind this door over here. Slowly. Unfortunately, these look like pieces of whoever that was trying to escape from this room. Since we have a window, I won't need to do this.
What's happening? Oh, it feels like my chest is going to burst. Oh.
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Accept it. We're not getting out of here.
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
Alright, if I remember correctly, there was a note about sending a person or a couple people down to the wine cellar. Just here. Some. And yeah, Wilhelm was the name. He was also the guy in the contract that I'd found. So, I guess he locked him in here and killed him with something. Appears maybe something in the wine, because the only things in this room are what I'd assume to be pieces of person. Yeah, these look like lungs or something. That's nice. And broken wine bottles. Yeah, looks like I'm going to read another note for you. Wilhelm's last words. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago I was summoned to the Castle Brandenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what this supposed Knight of the Order could want from me, and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past, and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim, and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly, and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I've brought men, women, and children to Brandenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight the Baron invited me and my men down to the Wine Cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer... And that's all he wrote. So, I guess what I was thinking happened was correct. He was sent down here, I guess poisoned by something, killed by something else. But again, it seems to be Alexander is behind pretty much everything bad that's going on in here. Alright, so that should be our 4 chemicals, right? Cuprite, Regia, calamine. Okay. So now we're gonna head back over to the laboratory, because again, I'd imagine this is all I needed from the wine cellar. And again, if the wine is poisoned, I don't really want to take it anyway. So there was some sort of chemistry set-looking thing in the laboratory. This is turning red. Yeah, okay, so we have more weird red. I don't know what, it almost looks like giant tumors on the building. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's not something I really want to get too close to. As I was saying, there was something that looked like a chemistry set, basically, for lack of a better term. And I'd imagine the chemicals tie into that in some way. No enemies were down here last time, but I just hope it stays that way. See. Other desk. Okay. And we'll see what we can do with this now. 4 different chemicals are needed to continue. Okay. Hope the order doesn't matter. No, they got placed over here, so just gonna throw all these in. These really seem to have a problem with cave-ins. I think we're on about 4th or 5th. Oh, I guess, okay. So I should probably go down here. Remember one of the notes in the archives talked about structural repairs. It seems they didn't do a very good job with this. Okay, so turn on the burners first. Is that this? How do I do this? Okay. Then now I guess I turn these. And once again, something seems to be caving in. And we now have a pot of acid. Some sort of organic tissue. Can it be dissolved? Okay, well. The note had mentioned something about or the note over there on the other desk had mentioned something about dissolving tissue, and I'd imagine an acid is exactly what we need to do this. And the stairs are gone. Okay. The stairs have collapsed. Find a way to climb back up. In my experience, Daniel hasn't been particularly athletic, but we're just going to try it. No, that's not going to work. Alright, so we're going to need to, I guess, piece the stairs back together, bridge that gap, or put something just running directly up here, maybe? What's it going to be? Can't lift the bookshelf. Can use objects. Alright, maybe this is what we need. Throw it over here. Alright, I didn't do that, but it just sort of fell into place. So I guess this is what we need to do. Climb right up. Alright, that went much better than expected. And I think this makes for all of the areas over here explored. Obviously, the refinery I couldn't get to. Because I really don't want to go back down there. Okay, we're still okay, so I don't know if that actually hurts me or if it's just more of a shock effect. But as I said, I think I'm done with everything else. So we can now hop down to the refinery. And hopefully this is going to work. Just throw it on here. Alright, into the refinery we go. I've been reading all of these little bits too, on the, I guess, entrance screens for each area. Nothing is beginning to make sense to me. Maybe that's not smart. Once again, it's needlessly dark in here.
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason? For the darkness, that is.
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
That sounds kind of intimidating. So whatever the reason is for the darkness, I hope not to find it. Actually, this is very close quarters, so there's not really much room to maneuver. Be careful when enemies are near. Okay. So I guess we're gonna see another one. I'll hold on to the light for as long as I can. Make sure I don't go insane. And that sounds like glass. Oh, there it is. Just gonna keep quiet over here and bring out the lantern where it cannot see me. Okay, music's still going, so I'm gonna camp out. Okay, it stopped. It's pretty quick. And because of the fact that it's telling me that I should hide, I'm gonna have to guess these are real monsters and not hallucinations. I gotta say, I think I've spent quite enough time in the refinery already. Definitely gonna close this.
Something is wrong. Oh, so wrong.
Alright, I'm gonna light both of these and make kind of a safe room, just in case I absolutely need to come running back here. I can probably move these barrels and hide behind them. Actually, just in case something chases me, I'm gonna make a little fort over here that I can run behind. I can do this and pull one of these or two in front of me. Okay, these don't appear usable in any way. Nor does this. I'm gonna leave the outer door to this open. And I can hopefully run quicker than these things can. Okay, not sure why that happened. Just gonna go ahead and quietly close this. I don't want to light that candle in case it's something here that's interesting. Oh no, this open. Oh no, okay. I had that open. Okay. Safe room coming in handy already.
22nd of June, 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect. But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
I do remember from a couple of days ago, whenever I played this last, that archaeology was my best guess as to what Daniel was doing and how he ended up here. So, that would seem to make sense. Whatever that orb was seems to be important as well. Okay, gotta turn the lantern on because that teeth sound is just nauseating. Watch from the other side. There's more of that red crap. Let's find another way. Should lead us back up to that main room? Yeah. Okay, so I guess over there, that door should be a little safe area I made. I mean, this is something I haven't explored. Probably not good that my first reaction is to turn a light on. Oh! And we're slowly losing it once again. Actually, that wasn't too slow. That was on the spin of about 5 seconds.
25th of June, 1839. I feel the need to continue this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. This must be something very important. I just know it. I've taken it upon myself to piece the orb back together, but it's been more difficult than one might think. The pieces are behaving strangely. They seem to change color, shape, and texture, but ever so slightly. Yesterday, I took careful measurements and notated any significant markings. Today, I confirmed my suspicions. They were changing. I was terrified and rushed off to see the finest geologist in London, Sir William Smith. I approached the subject with care and we discussed how rocks change form. He told me about the nature of glass, how it eventually collapses on itself, like ice slowly melting over the course of centuries. Smith eased my mind a bit, but I can't escape the feeling that these shards have otherworldly properties.
I'm just gonna check something again very quickly. Okay. Now, in school I was terrible at science. I'm not an expert in this field in any way, but as far as I know, glass is not going to change overnight. So, whatever this is, the otherworldly bit seems to be much more accurate. This isn't getting much better. This should lead me back into the room with the blocked door. This seems to be where I need to advance a little further. And it seems safe. Just gonna light a couple of candles. I have plenty of tinder boxes for now, and I'd rather not use too much oil, so hopefully this will bring me back down to a reasonable level of sanity, or lack thereof. Alright, so this is our locked door. That door didn't do it. Yeah, let's just let it through the end. Okay. There's something in here. Did I just sneak past the red stuff? No. Torch. Whoa. Okay, so that does hurt. Eventually. Go ahead. Yeah, just do this. I don't want to be bleeding badly here. Looks like there's a light coming from behind us. Oh, yes. Okay, so this will be our way in. It's too big to move, I guess. Gonna move one box in front again in case someone decides to come chasing me. And the sanity still shows the blood red, awful brain, but my screen seems to be moving a little bit better. I'm not sure if I'm imagining that, but it's quite nice either way. Okay, I'm trying to find a torch or something to light here. Don't have to blow all the oil I just got from that. Doesn't look like there's anything else to do since that's the blocked entrance. So we're gonna head down here, I guess. Pull it. Heavy to lift by hand. Okay. Looks like a control of some sort. And of course we can't use it just yet. Rope won't pull the hatch up. Something must be clogging the pulley. Okay, so somewhere along here. Something in the ceiling that just might be how it attaches. Yeah, it seems to be okay. That's a little more obvious. So we can get something to stand on. And we'll see if we can't get this thing out of here. Need one more. Not quite close enough for this. I really gotta pay more attention. Because I don't like walking on this stuff. This should do it. This is moving? Okay. Just back and forth, I guess. Wonderful. Get these out of the way. And I hope this does it. Alright. We're headed down to whatever this is. Oh, okay. See if I can get far enough through this hole, maybe. Don't get it, don't get it, don't get it. Okay. Fortunately, my screen is no longer shaking. So, I don't know if it was from standing in the light long enough or getting through that pulley puzzle, if you could call it that. But our sanity is doing a little bit better. I'm just going to be happy to get out of this area. Cellar archives. We've been to a lot of archives area. We've had the old archives, and now the cellar archives. And for the first time in 4 areas or so, this is remarkably well lit. Alright, let me take that right back. This is flooding. Okay, so this just flooded in the space of a second. And I don't seem to be hallucinating that. And this, oh my god, what is this? Oh, you can't be serious. Is this an invisible monster? There certainly seems to be something in there. Yeah, I am not imagining that. Okay, so these seem to be positioned so that I don't really ever have to get into the water. This doesn't seem to even bother me. What about these crates? But I'm sure if I set foot into the water, I'm going to get crazy. Oh my god, whoa! Alright, so So I'm going to make run for it here. A little higher up and we're okay. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to be going, so I'm just kind of following the trail right here. It's a little further outside. It's more of a maneuver. Set to be trying to cut accurately. Please don't have to get through that door. Okay, good. Damn it. I knew it. They weren't going to let me go quite that easily, were they? I'm not sure if I can make this. Can I throw this into the water? No. Alright, let's go for it. Stay back here, so I guess he knew that wouldn't open. And that I was going to have to come back here eventually. Okay, so it seems if I'm not in the water, he won't do anything. He'll follow me to the closest location, but won't be able to really injure me, which is nice. And can I even make it? Let's hope so. That was close. Alright, that'll be nice in case it attacks me. This reminds me of like the old Mario games, where you just have one random block floating in space and you have to take it out. It's exactly like that, except Mario wasn't quite this intense. It's still trailing me by a pretty good distance here. It's like, oh. An opening mechanism. Okay, so that opened the gate. It sounds like there's still a crank moving or something. So maybe, to be honest, I have to make something that one. And if it is a time mechanism, I certainly don't want to be getting there right as it shuts. Okay. Oh, that's lovely. That gate was very quick to shut, I think. Okay, as strange as this seems, it's going to be something in the water. Let's see if this can move it out of the way. Hey, it worked. Always nice when these ideas work. So I think I'm okay as long as that happens. Like I said, it's the same way. Got the other wheels. Okay, let's come back. Alright, let's just... I hope we can't get through doors all that quickly. Okay, we're at the next area. Archived. Oh, of course. I should really be learning to expect this stuff by now. What is this? Okay, that's very nice. Have to assume this opens the door. Okay, so one more archive area here. Archive tunnels. And I'm happy to be away from whatever the hell that thing was. Once it's flooded, please don't let there be another water monster. Okay, it's too quiet. Something has to be done. Yep. Oh, no, great. Come on, don't do that. I don't know. You're running for this thing. I'm gonna go get first. Just what I'm saying. When I was expecting things like this. Naturally, I'm not completely prepared for another water monster. Not a fast one, apparently. Oh, yes. It's like, okay, so, I don't care what's in that area. That door is officially the greatest sight I have laid eyes upon in this game. Land. Once again, we've reached land. Thank God. So the water monster is going to let us go for now. This is really nice music too, so maybe that means Cole will be okay. Okay, we're gonna hang on. We weren't gonna go through that door, but we're gonna take a slight detour. Half of a dead body here. What? I don't even know what the hell this is supposed to be. It's like some kind of a centipede. Dragon's wings and a baby's head? Would be my best guess. Who designed this stuff, though? Anyway, I'm gonna stop looking at that for too long. What's down here?
You have an ascending room. Will it take us to the inner sanctum?
It will definitely take care of the vertical part of our journey. So, you have ridden an elevator before?
Yes, the Colosseum at Regent's Park has one. It takes you to the gallery where you can view the panorama.
Good. This ride might be a little longer, and in the other direction.
See, everything this guy says just sounds menacing and imposing. I think the memo said this takes place in 18... something. Did it? Oh no, it'd be in my diary, I guess. Okay, so if this is the same year, it's 1839, and if my knowledge of useless fact is correct, I think the first elevator went into use in 1823, and they were called descending rooms, so that's why it was referred to as such. Let's find it. Okay. Just so you get to come here for not only the playthrough, but fairly useless history lesson as well. Disappears through the elevator. Let's see what it does. It goes down somewhere, according to Alexander. Of course. I gotta stop trying this stuff. Find a way to start the engine that powers the elevator, which I have to venture a guess is in the locked machine room. So this looks to be the same as the entrance hall, basically. Just one sort of hub area with a bunch of other smaller ones spun off of it. And I guess whatever I'm putting together through all the other rooms is going to help me get through that. The same way as dissolving the crap to get to the refinery. Alright, so we got guest room and study. Let's go with the guest room. This sounds a little bit more hospitable. I mean, the study sounds innocent enough, but then again, so do the archives, and that took 2 or 3 years off of my life. See, this looks nice.
My journal is gone. What would they want with my journal?
Okay, so that's Daniel's voice. Maybe he was the guest who stayed in this room. It's a nice bed. Can't do anything with it. Maybe I can.
Daniel,
What?
still having nightmares, I see.
Yes, I can't shake them. They come every night.
We'll put a stop to them. You'll see.
So, I didn't appear to be having a good time even back then. He's had a rough couple of months.
2nd of July, 1839. I received a letter today from the Algerian governor's office disclosing the fate of Herbert's expedition. About a week after my departure, Abdullah, one of the men traveling with us, returned from the desert. He was badly injured, as if maimed by a lion. The man rambled deliriously about the expedition being attacked by something horrible. The French quickly dispatched a search party to look for the expedition. After searching for days, they found the camp abandoned without any trace of Herbert or his men. Tomorrow, I'll retrieve the things they recovered from Herbert's tent at the customs house. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm worried for him.
Wow, nothing is going right for this guy, or anybody who knows him. It's nice that they're reading those now. Great language, okay. It's nice they're reading those. I think I'm starting to get a cold or something. I don't know if it's really noticeable, but my voice is a little weak today. In there. It's nice going into a place and not having to worry about sitting in darkness for too long. It's a nice break from running through flooded tunnels and listening to doors open themselves.
3rd of July, 1839. Today I picked up Herbert's things at the customs house. I dug through the trove of documents he had carried and found a log detailing the expedition. The nature of this text ranged from quick notes to colourful accounts of transpired events. I skimmed the pages, trying to figure out what might have happened. May 17th, the day I was trapped inside the orb chamber, Herbert dryly states, "Recovered Daniel after 1 hour of entrapment." This confused me greatly. I was suffocating within minutes. How could I have lasted an hour? I continued reading the peculiar text. Herbert states his facts without judgment or passion, but suddenly I could read frustration into his text. He pushed his men to investigate the underground tomb, an effort which seems to have strained the minds of his men. Madness spread through the ranks, and Herbert had to take some extreme measures to continue. He finally visits the chamber himself, where he retrieves the orb to the surface. His account confuses me greatly. If he has the orb, what are those pieces in my drawing room?
So getting the otherworldly bit is certainly suggested by all this. I also realize I'm clearing my throat a little bit, and I have a drink over here. I'm not sure if those noises are annoying or noticeable. If they are, I'm sorry. Again, I'm trying to keep my voice up as close to 100% as I can for now. Don't think there's anything in. Can't even open it. Maybe I can if I get this out of the way. No. Okay, nothing in there. Stuck due to a broken lock. Oh, maybe this is what they gave me the crowbar for. Oh, I guess I have to physically use this. Wonderful.
The key. Please, let it be here.
F4 key. Okay. It's hidden in the guest room.
4th of July, 1839. It's done. The orb is assembled. I was awakened by an exhausting nightmare. Shaking and sweating, I retired to the drawing room with a cup of tea. The relic pieces lay spread across the table as I'd left them, but somehow I knew how it was supposed to be. I fetched the tar, which I had prepared to fix the pieces together, and without fault I joined them, producing the orb I remembered so clearly. The tar proved unnecessary. It was pushed out from the joining pieces as they merged on their own, with no adhesive. The ancient stone relic now rests on my table. Its immaculate surface and perfect shape could have been molded by a factory. This is all too strange.
Okay. I don't hope to run into this orb, because whatever it is, it doesn't seem to bring good things with it. Sure. Drawer, nothing. Another drawer. Okay, kind of dark in here. Okay. Nothing. What is that? Oh! Oh, shit. Okay. Let's go in here. Oh my god, I wish I'd closed that door. Oh, okay. I'm gonna remain quiet, man. Yeah, it's definitely in here. It is definitely in this room. Could peek out. No. Okay, it's right outside this closet. Yeah, you can hear it breathing. It's not 2 feet from me at this point. Maybe it was further away. I don't know, that sounded very close up. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this open. Okay, so I need to run back into it. It's okay. Seems we're fine. This is definitely being closed now. Okay, so there is an important key hidden in the guest room. Maybe under this pile of clothing. Paper. No. Can I move this? Maybe it's behind one of these drawers. Can I bring this out? Nice catch. Okay, not in here. That's not coming out. And the music when that guy busted into, that was like, the apocalypse is coming. That was how you just hear it. It's instantly bad news. Behind this, no. What's over here? Yeah, I think the game's trying to tell me something with that. Come off.
Oh, thank God, there it is. I guess it is a good place to hide it then.
So I guess we found this key. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, okay, I have to get into the jar. Just gonna break it first. No? There we go. Alright, that might have been a bit excessive, but we've got the machine room key. I think we're just about done with the guest room. Alright, so I could go back to the machine room now. I think I'm going to explore the other rooms around here, because if this is anything like the entrance hall, I'm going to get to the machine room and find out I haven't completed something. The elevator seems like it's, you know, the way out of this main area, just out of everything connected to the back hall. So I think I'm going to have to finish whatever this is, and study it, maybe whatever's downstairs. This looks exactly like the archive, which is really bad news. And I don't know if you can hear that. There's a very strange whirring in the background. It sounds like almost a reel of tape or something is running. And dogs barking. And for once, those are not my dogs. Those are coming from the game. So this time it's not mine going insane. Anything else? Another piano. Hopefully this one will decide to stay quiet. Crystal clear? Okay. It's been a long time since I've seen crystal clear. It's the two least used words in the game, I think. And the dogs are still going, so I hope these aren't guard dogs or hellhounds of some sort. Again, I don't want to run into them. Letter regarding the discovery of it. To my most trusted student and friend, Johann Weyer. The most remarkable thing happened as I was traveling through the Prussian woods this summer. I finally found one of the orbs I've been looking for the last 20-odd years. It is as inexplicable as the Heliodromus described it in the Hortus Conclusus. It was, as it was told about, an underground Mithraic temple crowned with an unearthly artifact. The orb was big enough to fill my cupped hands, and the texture was smooth and jagged, its color washed while rich. Contrast is not enough to describe its nature. It was an impossibility, an artificial paradox captured within stone. I was staying in a nearby village called Alstad, investigating one of the antiquated trails, when I finally found the cavern. I went inside, and suddenly I could verify the truth of these enigmatic artifacts. They were real. As you can understand, this is the most important discovery of my life, but it has also become my greatest fear. As I entered the underground chamber, I could feel that I was trespassing. Because of my curiosity, I did my best to fight these instincts and fetch the orb from its place. I scrambled out of the chamber and into the woods. I could sense something was following me. It bayed loudly as it closed in. The beast, this guardian of the orb, was relentless in its pursuit. I made my way to a nearby ravine where I stumbled upon some men fishing in the lake. I tried to warn them as I passed, but fortunately they remained as I continued my escape. When I heard their cry of pain echo through the valley, I felt such a tremendous sense of relief, thinking I would be spared. Suddenly a blue shimmering light engulfed me, and the colors of the forest were washed away before my eyes. I kept running through the bleak surroundings. The trees had turned charcoal black with leaves of cinder, the ground covered in murky water. I pressed on through the drenched land as the glowing ember gave way to the rising wind and rained on me. I could hear pleading screams in the distance, and I joined in as pain and fear overtook me. I fell to the ground, gasping for air. This certainly must sound strange, but I had been carried miles away across the Alps to a grassy field outside Genoa. The Guardian had taken the orb from me, but still until this day I fear its return. Sometimes I lay awake at night listening for the howling cry I heard in the forest. It has been nearly a decade since that day, and I still haven't been able to write about the incident. The last time we spoke, you told me about your interest in ongoing research into the mythic orbs, and I realized I owed you the truth about my visit to Alstad. Your friend and mentor, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, who actually was a real person. I don't remember what he did, but that's interesting. I apologize also that, though it turned out to be way longer than I thought. It does sound kind of like what happened to me, though, when I read some note in the archives that there was the blue shimmering light as it was described, and I fell to the ground. And Alstad is the area in which this castle lies, so these experiences are very much like mine. It seems we've got nothing else to do in this room. Alright, onward we go. Oh, some more oil for us. Excellent. Oh, please tell me something's not coming through the window. Just use it in some way. Cracked window panes are held together only by a weak wooden frame. The same if I keep doing it. Okay, that technique seems to work way too much. And damn it. I'd like to escape from here, but that is kind of a nasty fall. Let's see what we can get done over here. And that looks like red crap from inside the castle. And I realize I keep calling it that. I don't have a much better term. So until I find out what it is, it will be known as red crap. Looks like it's binding the trees to the castle in some way. Oh. So we're back in another area of the study. When will it be my turn? Have I not shown restraint? My patience spans centuries. From where I came, mankind has not even wasted a breath, yet I bow to you. I have done so much for you, and I have gained nothing in return. Agrippa, I trusted you. It was I who, in all fairness, should have entered that gate. Alright, not sure what that was. Dot, dot, dot. Okay, it's the same as my sanity at certain points. Elevator renovation plans. Now, if I could read this, it'd be nice, because I could figure how to get the hell out of here. Nope. Elevator machine instructions. If the elevator breaks down again, make sure to use the steam engine to build up pressure before channeling it into the machinery. Actually, I'm not going to read this because I have a feeling I'm going to need to use this to actually get the elevator working. So you guys will get to see this numerous times as I figure out whatever I need to do. flow cycle rod. Actually, I probably should read this a little more carefully anyway. Complete steam flow cycle. So we have a flow cycle rod. So I can't help but feeling those two are related in some way. Yeah, well, okay. Not getting through this. I think the lantern went up by itself. Alright, we'll live on the edge here. Let's go nuts. I'm an idiot. I didn't see this. A few drops of oil. Alright, that's okay. Alright, can I keep going this way? Can I keep going over here? No. Nothing around the castle there. I don't know if I can fall off here, but it's another thing that I almost found out, but again, I'd like not to. Okay. Looks like a stuffed dog here. Maybe it's the ghost of... You know, whatever I heard barking is the ghost of this guy. Even though he's still gone. Animal experiment. Canis lupus familiaris. Okay, that just means dog. After a short study, it is clear that the agitation found among humans can be found in the dog. Fear and pain induce stress, which seems to trigger an endogenous response, causing the animal to burst with energy. I believe that the catalyst is produced in the brain. It is difficult to determine exactly where and what it is, but I can sense it. It reeks of cosmic genesis. There is an inherent problem in harvesting this energy since the creature is bound to die from the exercise. I must refine this process of torture to enable any real work to be done. More experiments must be performed, but it seems that only human beings are able to produce the amount necessary. It might be their ability to appreciate the severity of the process that ultimately augments their experience of terror. So again, a really uplifting ray of sunshine found here. So I guess he was killing all of these in an attempt to do God knows what. Yeah, it doesn't really seem as though anything good happened in this room.
Let's see what you have to offer. What a mess. I should have sharpened the saw, but I can sense it. It's definitely there.
I actually have a dog laying under my desk here as I do this, so it's nothing she needs to hear. It's okay, girl. Yeah, this is... What? Canine spine. Okay. Again, I guess this is another one of those shock value rooms to show you what he was up to. Maybe this is him. Maybe this was his little office in here. Close that. I've learned better than to leave doors open now. Especially in brightly lit places. Nothing. Okay. Alright. Nothing there. Oh! Jesus. Why? Why is that in your desk? Another thing I don't think there's significance. Nope. Okay. So this room officially sucks. I'd imagine again I can break this glass, but I don't think. Let's just do it then. I don't think I should, in case there's a reason to. No. Just get this off the table because this is silly. Alright, that's the other side of our cave-in then. This was just the other end to whatever I found after I went outside. Seems we can get out of here. And let me take another look actually at what I need to make this elevator run, which is not in this menu. Here we go. Okay, so following chart. So there's a steam flow cycle rod, so maybe there's also two matching rods for these guys. Adjust levers to get the right amount of pressure inside the chamber. Okay, so that should probably be in the machine room itself. And maybe I pick these up at other locations. So I think I saw another... I think there was a staircase or something going downstairs, which means we can probably find at least one of these items in there. Oh, right, this certainly wasn't here before. That's nice. Real good. Alright, yes, this is where we came from. The machine room's over there, so... whatever we want, maybe over here. Storage. Be a logical place to have the rest of this. Oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, this looks very bad. Yeah, I can't see 2 inches in front of me. Already a journal entry. Darkness in the storage feels strange and yeah. That's what you want to hear. That's real good. And actually, I think I'm going to stop it right here. I'll be able to come back within a day or so for another episode of this, and we will see. God knows what awaits us down here. So thanks for checking this part out. Again, tell me if you have any comments, suggestions, or anything, and I will see you for part 6. See you later.